Digital 410 Productions proudly presents the Waterman and D-Train Show.
Yeah.
Digitized live from the ACT Computer Studios in Cape Coral, Florida, it's the Waterman and D-Train Show.
What's up, OG5? What's up, Dave the Waterman?
What's up, bro?
What's up, Gordon?
How you guys doing?
All's good in the hood.
Damn good.
It's cold. It's like 58 degrees here in Cape Coral, Florida.
54 on my way over.
54 on Dave's way over, and we'll trust his sense of temperature control. How you doing, fella?
Good, man. Good, dude. Just kind of recovering from yesterday's show. And
yesterday.
You know, we had the big show yesterday, obviously, with K-Rock and over at Hertz Arena, man. So it was a real busy day. You know, a lot of little gremlins happening here and there, but we got all that worked out. But otherwise, you know, good, man, good. How about you, brother?
So you had Five Finger Death Punch was in town?
Yeah, man. We had 3 Days Grace, Five Fingers Death Punch.
Five Fingers? No, Five Finger.
Five Finger Death Punch.
It's the Five Fingers Death Punch. I remember them when I was a young lad.
And man, what a show those guys put on. Phenomenal. You know, today's shows, it's interesting because I was talking to Chris Cale, me and Stan were, and Stan asked him, and when I was standing there, and it was a great question, man.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about sound checking and how bands, you know, a lot of bands when they sound check, obviously they got to be there in person.
Sure. So
they're there, you know, all adjusting their instruments with their guitar techs, bass techs, drum techs, the whole thing. And I guess if I got this correct, what they do now is they've got some. It's all done in Pro Tools.
Okay.
So
it's basically different levels.
So what they do is they record the previous night's show.
Mm-hmm.
And they bring that over to whatever venue they're going to be at, and automatically inject that, you know, into the house system.
Yeah, because it gives the sound tech all the time in the world, basically, to level out perfectly.
Exactly. So all they got to do is small little tweaks here and there now. So literally, the band for Five Finger Death Punch, they don't even have to be there. They don't even need to show up for sound check.
Well, and the nice thing too is if the sound guy gets that early enough. They can do it before the crowd gets there, because as the old story goes, back in, like, what was it, Gordon, 77, 78, down at Cincinnati when Led Zeppelin played?
Was it Led Zeppelin or The Who?
No, it was Led Zeppelin, I believe. It was at Riverfront Coliseum.
They
were doing sound check.
Yeah.
And the crowd was out in the parking lot.
Right.
And they thought the show started.
Oh,
the doors were locked.
Oh, no.
So all the cats in the back started pushing to all the way up front.
Right.
And the people who were in front of the doors basically got smashed, and some of them got suffocated and trampled.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 people who died.
Damn, man. A lot of that happened back then. A lot of trampling of people, man.
Well, that's part of the reason.
You gotta learn, right? You gotta learn somewhere.
I guess.
And that's part of the reason why a lot of places adopted seating instead of just general admission.
Yep, general admission and floor and all that sort of stuff.
OG5 checking in on Facebook Live. What's up, John Kraft? What's up, Morgan Long? He's always here.
What's up? So I thought it was pretty cool, you know, when he was talking about that. He's like, look, man, we literally don't have to be there. Now, I'm sure they have days where they do sound check. It's not like, I think, you know, probably every week or so they go and do a new one and you know, with their instruments and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just really cool to understand and see what they do nowadays compared to how the old school way, like we're talking about.
Well, like
literally, the bands had to be there and do the sound check all the damn time.
Well, just like all that stuff changes. I mean, mixing boards alone have changed so much over the years. The hip hop station where you work, their new soundboard has presets.
Yeah, have you seen? Yeah,
so they tune in, and so when the morning show comes in, they hit the morning show button, and the mixing board mixes to the levels that they have preset.
Yep.
And then when the afternoon show guy comes in, he hits a button, turns off all the other microphones, turns his to the levels that he's used to.
Yep. And then it automatically goes. Yeah, it's so cool, man. It was just so cool to hear that. I was like, damn, dude, that's pretty wild. But all in all, man, good day yesterday. Long day. I had a run-in with I don't know how this happens. I don't know. I just don't get it.
Wait, did it start out with you daving around by chance?
No, I wasn't daving around, bro. It was okay. Let me set the scene. We're over at the sports bar doing the autograph signing with Chris Cale from Five Finger Death Punch.
Now, which member is he?
He's the bass player. And he's known for his dreaded goatee beard. That's like his little signature thing, and it's gigantic. Now, mind you, we're over at a country club where it's, you know, the age. There's young guys in there, but there's a lot of older folk in there, and they're looking around. You've been there, yeah. You know, you've been there,
Arena.
Right?
Now, did they do half stadium or full stadium?
Full. It was sold out, maxed out, floor. I mean, wall to wall, all floor.
Because the arena is like any other arena. It's an egg, if you will, and depending on how many tickets they sell, they'll either set the stage up in the middle and cut half the place off, or they'll slide it back, or push it all the way back.
Yeah, no, it was wide open, man. But so we're over at the sports bar, and at one point I had to go use the restroom. So, God, I love this mic.
You like that mic?
Real quick, it's
Dave's new mic day. Mine was last week.
I can hear it, man, and it sounds
more professional.
Bitchin', man.
The other ones are nice for $25.
Yeah.
But when it comes to electronics, you get what you pay for.
Yes, you do.
And you know what the biggest difference are?
What's that?
Background noise.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the old mics, if we had the monitor speakers on,
I remember.
it wouldn't pick them up. But these, if I turn them on, you'll start getting feedback because these are higher quality microphone and they're not just straight up compressed all to hell.
Yeah.
And they have a thicker, deeper sound to them.
Yeah. So real quick.
Yeah, I need one of those. I could use a thicker, deeper sound myself.
If you want to get Gordon a thicker, deeper sound, you can help us get Gordon thick and deep into your ears.
Damn right.
Just go to d-410.com. Click on that Amazon link. Save it to your favorites or your desktop. And even if you have a phone, don't use the Amazon app. Go launch up your Chrome on your phone. Go to d-410.com. Click on that link and do your shopping, and you will help Gordon get deeper and thicker into your earlobes.
Damn right. So check it out. So
actually, real quick before you move on, I have an observation to make, and maybe it's where I'm at, but you two are bundled up like you live up north and you don't have the furnace on very high.
Bro, it number one, it's misty, that rainy mistiness outside. It's cold. It's
moist.
Damn right.
Now, how cold is it?
I'm telling you, it was 54 on my way over.
It was 54, not counting wind chill. Now, I went out and ran 3 miles in it earlier. I had my shorts on. I had my quick dry shirt, and then I put on my new Russell hoodie, the one I wore to the studio on Friday.
Right.
And I went out and ran 3 miles. But yeah, it's a little misty. It's getting cold.
It's getting cold.
By the way, don't sleep on Russell. Russell apparel is cheap. It's the
good stuff.
I found it at Walmart.
Oh, yeah?
I found a pair of shorts at Walmart, and I have a bunch of other running shorts. Got some from Old Navy, Amazon, and now those Russell $10 shorts from Walmart. Those are what I wore at the Savage Race.
Oh, damn right.
And then talk about the ones that's real lightweight, and they got the Russell right across the elastic back.
No, these are real lightweight. They got a nice runner cut to them. They just have a small little R down on the left leg. They fit really, really well. And then that sweatshirt I bought, it's not like your normal sweatshirt material. It's I don't know, it fits real slim and but anyhow, don't sleep on Russell apparel. Save your money for your shoes. Go down to Walmart and get some Russell athletic apparel. You won't be sorry.
Right.
No, that's not a plug. It's just I like to share quality stuff.
Hell yeah.
And like I said, ever since I got the shorts, I don't even wear my other ones.
Yeah. So check this out. So I'm over at the sports bar, and I'm like, hey man, damn it, you know, I gotta take a leak, man. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I like the fact that you travel around with your own Pizza Hut Coke cup.
Damn right, bro. That's old school classic right there, homeboy.
I remember I used to go to Pizza Hut when I worked at Pizza Hut. I used to have to clean those glasses.
Check those out, the old plastic, plastic red ones, man. Yeah. So I go to the bathroom, and I got my manhood out. I'm standing there.
Moist.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm wetting down the porcelain, and I'm wetting down the porcelain. Well, I hear the door, and behind me, and a guy comes in, full ass cup slaps me on my right cheek, and I've got my junk in my hand, so I immediately stop.
Moist.
Midstream, dude. Right?
He's an asshole, sir.
Yeah. I'm like, what the? And I look over, and there's this, 5'1" old guy standing there going,
Hi, fella.
hey, what's going on around here? There's a lot of skull rings and, tattoos and.
Now, was this at the arena or at the
this
remote?
This is at the remote, man.
Okay.
This is at the country club, bro.
Sure.
Because all the rockers invaded the country club, and the country club people are kind of going, hey, a little bit like, what's going on around here?
Sure.
So the guy comes in and he gives me one of those attaboy, full cup, full hand cup, right cheek, and I'm like, dude. I look over on my right shoulder and I'm kind of looking over at him and I'm like, can I help you?
I think
Sure
he
can.
misread the crowd with all the black leather and skulls.
Yeah,
He's having flashbacks to his Judas Priest days. He's
something, man. So
He's horny for evil and hell-bent for leather.
yeah. So I'm like, can I help you, And he's like, hey, man, didn't really talk like that. He was much more polite old man talk. He's like,
Hello, chap. What's with all
Yeah.
the leather and rings?
what's going on around here? And I said, we're having a draft fund raise for the troops, for the Standing Haney Draft Fund. I said, not only that, we got a big concert tonight going on over at Hertz Arena. And he's like, yeah, I noticed there's a guy out there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this big, long dreadlocked beard. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, who is that guy? Because I've noticed his fingers. I've seen him touching people with his hand, and his fingers are real long. He must be a drummer, huh? And I was like, no, bro, no. And now, mind you, at this point, as he's saying that,
He went for another cup for your ass?
No, then he takes his left hand and puts it on my right shoulder.
He's a touchy-feely guy.
And he did the ungodly habitual line step where he stepped forward and did the old look down to see what I was carrying, and then stepped back. And I'm just looking at the dude.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Like, what is up with you, man?
All right, now I'm hearing this dude's voice like Herbert, the old pervert from Family Guy.
I'm like, what is up with this guy? I said, no, sir. I said, he's the bass player for the band. He's the bass player. He's like, you guys got a good crowd out there. There's just a lot of people out there, and this doesn't normally happen here. And I'm just very curious of what's going on.
Well, I'm more curious why you keep grabbing me, sir.
Yeah, and well, I was very just like, by this point, I stopped taking a leak, man. It's like I couldn't leak anymore because now the dude's just up in my grill.
He's up in more than that.
Yeah, no doubt. He habitually line stepped and took a look at my junk. He's standing there. He grabbed my ass. He's got a hand on my shoulder, and then that's when I looked at him, and he knew. I gave him that look like, get your damn hand off my shoulder, bro.
Moist.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's what his butt was feeling. So I said, so I explained to him really, everything that was going on. So finally, I backed away from the urinal just to, I'm trying to shut the guy off because I'm like, come on, man. Can't you see I'm trying to take a leak here, man? And it's like, I'm not here to have a conversation in the men's room.
I hate that.
It's like a straight up conversation in the men's room.
Forgive me if I have my piece in my hands if I
Yeah.
don't talk to you in the men's room.
Right.
People do that when I worked at the radio station.
They would do it all the
Sales
time.
guys would do it all the time.
Yes, they would. So there's two stalls in the thing. Finally, I stepped away from the urinal, and the damn thing wasn't flushing, and I'm kind of like flashing my hand in front of the like flush, just so this dude knows I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm leaving. So I walk over to like wash my hands. I still got to take a leak, by the way, man. I'm not, I'm just like, God, I gotta piss so bad.
You got a half-empty bladder.
Yeah, it's like, you get that real good stream going, and then when somebody, something, I don't know, a sound, something interrupts you, you lock up. Especially when somebody comes and throws a full ass grab on you, and then, wants to sit there and have a convo while you're trying to take a leak. Excuse me. So finally I walk over, I started washing my hands. And I was like, I'm trying to thank the guy. Like, I appreciate it, appreciate it. And I'm waiting for a second, and he walks out. He leaves. And I'm like, dear God, I'm out loud. I'm like, dear God, man. I was like, is there no privacy anymore? Period.
Can a man take a piss?
Can I just take a leak? And then from the other stall, I hear a guy go, Waterman, it's tough being you, bro. And I went, are you kidding me? So finally, I was like, yeah, I appreciate it, man. You know, I told one of the other guy, so yeah, I appreciate it, man. So then I waited.
I was Waterman's biggest fan.
Yeah, I walk in, the guy, and you can see the guy's got his drawers down. He's taking a big steamy, dump load there
Moist.
at the at the sports bar, and I'm like, God. But finally, I went in, and there's an actual full sealed restroom where you can go and sit in there, and I just went in there and closed the door and locked it, finished my job, and then walked out. And then as I'm walking out, I'm walking through the crowd, and the guy's like, hey, hey man, nice talking to you, And I'm like, yes, appreciate it, sir. And then went on outside. But the deal that it's just, come on, you don't hold court at urinals, and then with some old, it was just weird, man. I was like, that's how my day went yesterday. That was like, the way things were going yesterday, D-Train. And you know me. It's just, why does this crap happen? I don't know, but it does to me. And I was like, this is crazy, man. So I went out and told...
Did that begin the spiral of your evening, or was it already on a downward slide?
No. It was just one of those... It was just a very, very busy day yesterday. There was a few people that didn't make it to the job. And it was just a real busy day, and because you're bouncing between two locations and trying to get things set up here, set up there, and making sure that everybody can handle everything. Because no offense, it's just a bunch of girls that I had placed everywhere, and they don't think like we do, boys. And no offense against our lady listeners, but they don't have the ingenuity like we would.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're also like 19.
And exactly. They're young. They don't know, hey, if the tents are starting to blow or something's going on, make sure those weights are tight. Take some duct tape. Double those, double the two, because we have two tents now. Double them together. Wrap those things up to create more weight.
Sandbags.
More, add more stuff like that. So no offense against the ladies. Some of you younger ones, you might know what to do. Your dad's taught you well. Maybe your moms did. I don't know. But, anyways, so I was bouncing back and forth, but it was just one of those days. But when I went out and told the guys, I said, man, you're not going to believe it. I said, I don't know why this happens, man. I don't know why this happens. And, of course, I was getting, moves are getting made on you, huh? You're getting the moves made on you in the restroom and all this. And I'm like, no. I was like, no.
Cute son of a bitch. I'm going to grab me a piece of that ass.
But, why?
Dave, did you feel like one of them, maybe many women that you made feel uncomfortable?
No, man, because I don't make the ladies feel uncomfortable, bro.
Not Dave.
Not me, man. No, dude, bro, I'll talk to
Master of smooth, huh?
Bro, I'll talk to the most beautiful supermodel in the world and treat her as normal as I would the big, you know what I'm saying.
That's Sweaty Betty.
You know what I'm saying.
Me back when we was 2.
You know what I'm saying, boys. You know what I'm saying. But come on, D-Train, you've been there. Gordon, you've had to have been there. Why is it that older guys, especially when you run into those bars, they're drunker than a skunk? It's 3:30 in the afternoon, and they're just do what?
Day drinkers too, huh?
Oh, well, they're golfers, man. I mean, golfing is I think alcoholics sport in a way, right?
Yeah, it gives them something to do.
I mean, you're not drinking and playing football. You're not drinking and playing hockey.
Well, if you're playing pickup hockey or pickup football,
well,
I'm sure you're on the sideline drinking.
Yeah, maybe. You're not Darryl Strawberry snorting cocaine in the dugout throwing the World Series.
I don't think Arnold Palmer's drinking in between holes either.
No, I don't.
Only that one guy, the guy who used to smoke.
John Daly.
Yeah, that guy would drink.
John Daly'd sit there and smoke and drink all day. But like holding court in a restroom, why do people insist?
Well, just don't go to a gym then, because those same guys are the ones who walk around balls ass naked in the
yeah.
shower.
Do they?
Yes.
Really?
And they'll stand in front of like the 15-foot long mirror, just like shaving balls ass naked. They act like they're at home.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he was holding court with you. You sound like he was straight
holding your
molesting
ass.
you.
Well, yeah. The guy was physically molesting me, man. You know. I mean, if I truly wanted to, I could have. You know. But I mean, come on. I'm not that. You know. I'm just like, whatever, dude. I know you're drunk, man. Just leave me alone. But they do that in gyms, huh?
Well, they don't come out and grab you, but they
I mean,
walk
not
around
saying
balls
the
ass
grabbing
naked.
you, but they do.
Walk around balls ass naked.
Just treating it like it's
Treat
their
it
own
like
home.
they're home. They don't give a shit.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, peacocking around, pretty much.
Wow.
They get off on it. So,
I had to get that
let's
off.
rewind to Friday,
Yeah.
to the human trash
Oh,
compactor.
God.
Yeah, I want to hear about this. I saw some of it.
Oh, man. Hey, thank you, D-Train, for that,
Hey,
too,
Chris
by the
Quinton
way.
joined us. He said our audio is spot on. So between Gordon and all of our new microphones, we are deep and thick into your ears.
We are kicking some ass. I love it.
So I came in. I happened to be working across the street. Actually, I did 2 jobs over in that area, so I figured, well, I got some time. I'll swing by. And Stan's like, I'm going to need your help. I got some food for Dave. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And, of course, Handy knows nothing about it because, well, he wants plausible deniability. And
Yeah,
Stan doesn't
exactly.
want him to put a squash on the idea.
Exactly.
And so they bring you in. And we needed a blindfold because, well, in the past, anytime I brought a bandana and you'd get excited and take it home with you. So,
Yeah, I do. I got thousands of them. Thank you.
So we ended up ripping your arm off of a T-shirt.
Yeah, cut that off.
And so we're trying to get the bit started. And Rob somehow scampers through the radio station. He comes in with this fucked up can opener.
If that's what it was,
It has a weird shape to it. It's curved
Yeah.
like a phallus.
Yes.
And if you hold it like a normal can opener, like us old people would, where you're using it on the side, the way it's curved and the way the handle's on it, it was set up to be left-handed. And
Yep.
I'm like, is this thing a left-handed can opener? Well, it took us like 15 minutes to realize this is a bad version of one of those newfangled ones that goes on top.
That's the top side,
and it cuts the side of the can. But even at that level, it was still a bad one. Like it was still slipping
just
and popping.
not good.
And Stan held up the 2 cans. He's like, well, which one do you think we should do first? Now, I didn't even think about the taste.
Yeah.
Obviously, we should have kept the squid for the second one. But the fact that it said squid in California, like, well, that's got Dave's name all over it. He's the Waterman. This is seafood.
Yeah,
It's from California.
Feed them that. Ugh.
When that can...
So I got a question, Dave. What thought went through your mind as soon as that can got open and you got hit with
Well, D-Train was smart enough when we were putting on the bandana that he had it just below my nose. You know, he knew because he knows me. We've done eject of these bits and stunts together. He knows as soon as I get a whiff, I'm automatically going to be going no. Yeah, I'm automatically going to be dejecting it before I even begin to try to taste it. You know. So he had actually pulled it down just enough underneath my nose, and I had my head turned so that it didn't. But going ahead.
And so as soon as that can cracked open, it was like, was it Dogma? When the Gargothan came from the shit monster from hell.
Yep.
Now, not to be too offensive, and I mentioned it, but after the bit was over,
Yeah.
the female from across the hall came
my
down, and she
God.
walked out. She's like, "It smells like a tampon bucket in here." I was
Yeah.
like, "That's exactly
Like-
what I said." It's just
A wastebasket full.
if anybody who's ever worked at a restaurant who had to clean the ladies'
room.
bucket, that special bucket.
Mm-hmm.
That it was just horrible, and of course
Yeah.
it's getting all over the place, getting on my hands.
So it sounds to me like the joke wasn't just on Dave; it was on everyone.
Well,
It
the
was
thing
gift-
was,
Well,
it wasn't
it
just-
wasn't supposed to be, but boy, it turned into that.
Now, when we say squid, we're not talking about calamari rings.
Right.
Granted, there were a few rings in there. We're talking about complete whole squids that were cut up, and so the head's in
And
there, all the
Canned in ink.
canned in its own natural ink and juices.
Yes.
And we were talking after the bit that I can't believe this stuff is canned and sold for human consumption, but
Yes.
apparently it's. I don't know.
How
if
does it pass the FDA?
Well, it's like, are they using this for like low quality sushi? What? I don't know if like there's
What
Japanese
would
casserole
you-
they use this in, but
yeah. Yeah. It's.
But
So D-Train goes and cracks that can, and now my sense of smell's covered up, and I hear those three guys going, "Oh dear God! Oh God! Oh dear God!" And I'm going, "Oh man! Oh man!"
That could have been going one or two ways for you.
Oh, it was
could have been
disgusting.
Well, I mean,
hyping it up, and
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, you know what? They're just doing that to get in my head psychologically.
No, there's no psychological warfare there.
So
it was gross.
So yeah, the room is god awful stinking. So then you start. I don't know what you pulled out first because I couldn't tell.
It was like a chunk of like the fatty part of the arm where it connects to the body. It wasn't like
like a tentacle.
It wasn't like I just put it in your mouth and it was just so fucking
Did it still
gross.
have the suckers on it and stuff?
No.
Oh, those were those.
No, that's octopus.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Squid.
Yeah. But if you
gave
look
him the shoulder.
if you look at the end of it, man, it's just disgusting.
It was hardcore because when I bit into that stuff, it was like it was.
Did it have like an irony taste to it? Like blood almost?
It was, nickel, like a nickel. You ever get that metal? You ever had that metal taste in your mouth, like a nickel or?
No, but I remember as a young lad when high school guys and middle school guys would get around and talk about shit they didn't know about.
Right.
They would joke that when you get your Red Wings, it tastes like pennies.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. So yeah. But as soon as I bit into it, and it exploded, just the juices and the tenderness.
Don't puke in here talking about it because then you're not going to puke.
No,
on the way
I'm
home.
not. I'm going to be good. I'm holding it in. Trust me, I'm holding it in. You don't understand.
Juice, gummy, fucking candy.
It you know, we'll get into this here in a second. I'm going to get into something here in a second. But the elasticity and the
Well, I mean, I like calamari, but that's deep fried. And when I eat calamari, I like the smaller ones because I find the large one has more of a fishy taste to it.
Exactly.
And this thing was just a big ass
Dave
squid
said
chopped
it was
up.
basically thought it was bait fish.
Well, that's exactly
Exactly
at first,
what it was.
It's exactly what it was. It was. I mean, literally, you could have put that on a hook. I mean, like we were talking about, you would have caught something
better to eat.
Yeah, you would have caught catfish or something with it, man. But any
You'd
respectable,
probably pull up a grouper on that.
you might. But most respectable fish would have swam right by that, man, and been like, "That's. Well, I got to be real hungry to eat some of that," you know. But no, it was elasticity, and when I bit into some of the pieces, they would pop. I could feel the popping, and then the juices would just squirt off like down the back of my throat, you know, into my cheeks, and I'm going, "What is this? What in God's name did they come up with this time?"
I don't know where Stan found that stuff. I don't know if he went like to the Asian market or where, but
I don't know, but I do know that it did sit on that shelf in the studio for about 2 months, just baking in the sun, cooling off at night.
That same can?
That can. Baking.
you sure?
I know it was that can. Baking in the sun.
It doesn't matter.
Cooling off at night. Baking in the sun.
Knowing that and fast forwarding, how did you feel the next day?
Oh.
Well, that really didn't matter though, because the way they put that shit in cans, the way they actually cook it in the can, that's what prevents it from rusting.
Right.
So they pack it full, put the lid on, and then they
like,
boil it
warm
inside the can.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's why
It was good till the end times anyway.
Yeah.
But because you gave me 1, 2, 3, 4 big spoonfuls at one point.
And the last one I gave you, if you go back and watch the video, it was like the head.
Yeah,
See,
that's the one. Yeah, that was the one. That was the one. Were the eyeballs still there? Because I swear,
I didn't look that close.
I'm telling you, I felt one. I could feel it like at the roof of my mouth, the roundness. You know. Yeah, right. The roundness of something, and as soon as I bit down into that, it was like it was just an explosion of just garbage, man. You want to talk? And I'm not joking you, boys. I've put my mouth on a lot of rotten stuff in my time. There's no doubt about that. But that was the pinnacle, one of the pinnacles of me putting some real nasty stuff in there, man. Whoa. Whoa.
It's gross.
It was so bad. The stench was so bad. People were leaving work going, hey.
They were pissed.
No, they were mad. They were leaving, walking out of the building.
As soon as the bit was over, I went and threw it in the dumpster. Then I went in the Stan's office and found a candle, like some Thanksgiving Day
Thank
candle.
God we had a candle, man. Thank God we had a candle, man. And then the second can, those orange blossoms, those
were banana blossoms.
Banana blossoms. Those right there, man, were because of the nature of the flavor of the ink.
Oh.
And
you had a good 20 minutes to clean your palate.
Yeah. Do you think that stuff's just gonna wash right out of your mouth, bro? No.
Right out of your head.
No. I didn't have any scope on hand. I didn't have any.
The banana blossoms looked mighty fibrous.
Well, I tend. That's when it really kind of got me, because those tended like. You ever had, you've been to the chicken restaurant sometime and you'll get that chicken tendon? It was like eating just tons, like just throwing a mouthful of tendons in your mouth. And once again, just like, it was just, oh, God. And the mixture of the banana blossoms with the squid.
I put the entire can with if you watch the YouTube video, I pull what I'm assuming is the core out, because it's just this big chunk, and I threw it down. But you pretty much you didn't consume.
I tried.
You swished like we did back in elementary school with the fluoride. You swished and rubbed your teeth down with it. But the question everybody wants to know is, how was the second day when that shit happens? Or how's that night? Is your gurgling with?
I brushed my teeth.
You don't swallow any of that stuff
30 times. Some of it I do. Some of it you can't help it. Especially when you're jamming in my mouth like you are, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help but swallow some of that stuff.
Gordon, I hope you got that. Did you clip that? I can't drop a cue in this program.
Okay. When that's happening, man, it's
33:29.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
Go back and get that.
So when that's happening, yes, you do swallow. You do swallow that stuff. You can't get around it, man.
Salty.
You can no. You can't get around it. Yeah, you can't get around it. But those two flavors combined were just god awful, not cool. But hey,
not cool, man. Not cool.
Not cool, man. Not cool at all. But anyways, I laughed. I know everybody was laughing, but the whole building was pissed.
Oh, we're going to change up gears now.
Yeah, let's change gears, man. Let's move on. So that's what I've been up to. How about you boys?
Well, here's a little segment that I want to call When You Discovered That You're a...
He's an asshole, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Or were an...
He's an asshole, sir.
Okay.
You ever had those moments in your life where you sit back and you think about when you were younger, or something occurs to you and you realize, yes, maybe I was a...
He's an asshole, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have some friends who graduated high school with me who live in Port Charlotte and Inglewood, which is about 45, 50-minute drive. We've been in communication. We're going to try to meet up.
Oh, cool, man.
But I'm on Facebook yesterday, and I see this guy that I went to school with. He has a Facebook post saying he's flying from Rickenbacker Air Force Base down to Cape Coral, Florida.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing in Cape Coral?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm helping Brady move back home.
You're like, what?
And I said, Brady blank, his last name. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, how long has he lived in Cape Coral? About 4 years.
What?
And I realized, yeah, I guess maybe at some point some people thought I was an asshole, because if you move 5 states away, and you live in the same town with somebody you went to school with, used to skateboard with, used to party with, you would figure you would hit them up on Facebook.
Absolutely. I'd be like, yo, what's up, man?
And then he confirms that Brady's brother says, yeah, I think he lives right down the road. So apparently they know enough maybe for my running photos, but once again,
he's right around the corner.
It's like, clearly I'm an asshole, because they never thought to reach out to say, hey, man, let's get together.
That's not cool, man.
I think they're kind of in the other camp. I ran in different circles, and I think they ran in a circle with some of my ex-girlfriends and all that. But it's just like, yeah, I guess I'm a
Gunner's mate, first class, Philip asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had any of those situations where it's like,
yeah. There's, you know what, it still happens to this day sometimes, man. But yeah, I mean, back in the day.
I mean, I would ask Gordon, but everybody already knows he currently is an asshole, not was.
Yeah. Gordon's the biggest asshole.
To be fair,
God, you're such an ass.
I've actually had 2 friends that I was friends with way back in Hamilton hit me up, and I met up with them when they were out here, because Vegas is kind of a small little tourist attraction.
Yeah.
So one was Toucan, His name is Jason. And the other guy was named Dell, who is a officer for the city of Groveport. It was cool. It was really cool. Just
So you got to hang out in
20,
Vegas
25 years since we
with the
together,
Groveport police officer.
and just see where everybody's at.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting when you run into people after so many years. Like when I moved back up to North Florida a while back, quite a few years ago, and was hitting the local beaches and stuff where I used to surf and stuff, and was running into people. And yeah, you know what? People change, and it's like you run into them. Hey, yeah, man, let's hang out. We used to get growing up as kids. Yeah, let's hang out. But then you don't hear nothing from them.
Well, speaking of which, Joshua Shanowski there's a last name.
What?
Joshua Shanowski, another guy went to high school. He actually just tuned in. He
Right
probably
on.
confirmed or verified at some points that people thought I was an asshole.
Yeah, right? Damn.
It just blew my mind. It's like, wow,
G&D train.
This
The
cat-
asshole brothers.
this cat has lived in the same town as me
That's crazy,
for
man.
4 years. I haven't seen him since 1997. And not so
And-
much of a Facebook message saying, hey, man,
Dude, he had to have known.
I'm sure, yeah.
You were here. You've been in broadcasting.
Like I said, I got
you've
two friends, Brian and Eric. They live Northport and Venice, which is 45, 50 minutes away. But this
Yeah.
cat lives in the same neighborhood.
Same, literally, right around the corner. Man, bro, yeah.
So they're driving home now, which that's a long. I mean,
Home or
it's
going
17
back?
hours from here to Northern Kentucky to get to Grove City. It's further than that.
Good God.
And they're driving like those moving trucks that have the governors going like 55
60,
mile an hour.
yeah, 55, 65.
I mean, that's 17-hour trip to Northern Kentucky. That's at 90 mile an hour, not
Yeah.
at 55, hauling all your belongings. So that had to be a long. And I told him, I said, dude, that's a long, boring drive.
Yes, that is a long,
That-
boring drive.
5 hours of that trip.
What's that?
Jeez.
That add another 5 hours of that trip.
Oh, probably more, maybe
imagine.
even more. I know driving from Los Angeles to here was just, I literally wanted to pull my 9mm out at the time and blow my brains out by the time I got to the Panhandle.
Oh, I know. I made that drive.
Oh,
And I'm
man.
I'm in the Firebird pulling a U-Haul trailer.
Yeah, I pulled a U-Haul as well.
My dad made that drive like 6 times.
Yeah, I've done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
Consecutive, not like once every year. We moved
Right.
down here, and then
And
he went
kept
back
going
to
back
work.
and forth.
He went back to work, would work like 2 weeks, use vacation, move stuff down here. Basically,
Oh my God.
he would make the drive. Then once he finally got his last load, then he retired on that date and then came back the last time.
Woo. Man, that is a ride. That is a ride. There's certain areas that when you do drive that are beautiful. I don't know what the scenery's like. Oh, because you're going from.
Well, and we came up Burnt Store Road, and this is back before anything was developed. I'm like, where the hell did you move me? I'm living in
Yeah,
a swamp.
Yeah, huh? You're like, holy crap, where am I living at, man? Yeah, exactly. How old were you then? You think?
24?
Oh man, so yeah, you were bummed out.
And the fact that I just came here from Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
so
Oh yeah, where it's like, yeah.
coming from a place that had surf shops, restaurants, the bars, to beach, it's nothing but knickknacks and t-shirt shacks.
Yep. I'd say 4 out of every 10 chicks were like super hot.
Rarely a redneck to be found.
Oh well, yeah, true. But they do got desert necks out there where you're at, buddy. That's what they call them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got those
Not like you.
Nye County weirdos. I was watching Live PD again last night, and they pulled over a guy on a four-wheeler driving down the street with a cape.
Yeah, old Perron, Nevada.
So,
I think we've all had those experiences, man. There's no doubt about it.
now, Dave, I want to catch you a little off guard on this because I
dude.
didn't have the ability to get a hold of you to give you some prep on this.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 cell phones, but neither one of them work.
No, dude, I got it's just secret numbers.
So, we all love music,
Yes.
and and you can go last, give you some time to think.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about good songs that are brought down a level by a bad lyric. It's a really
Okay.
good song, but either the lyric negates the point of the song, or it's just dumb. It's lazy writing. It's something that every time you hear the song, you're into the song, and you get to that lyric, and you're just like shaking your head, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Are you familiar with the song "Wake Me Up" by Avicii? I think his name is
Avicii, not
A-V-
Yeah,
AVIC double I.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm not. I couldn't. I'd have to hear it, but no, I couldn't. Recall it off the brain now.
long story short, he's got this song called "Wake Me Up," and he's talking about how all these older people are telling him that he's too young to understand. He's all caught up in a dream. His life will pass away if he don't open his eyes. Well, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Well, the chorus of the song is "Wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost."
Yeah.
The reason this song bumps me,
Yeah.
and I'm too literal, I know no one thinks of this shit. Wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. Where does wisdom come from?
Life experience.
So if you're asleep,
Yeah. Coma.
it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're not out there experiencing things, you're not going to be wiser and or older. You're just going to be dumber and older,
Yeah.
or stagnant and older.
Hello.
And so he's got this whole song talking about he's trying to find himself, and people telling him he's too young, and wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. Well, bitch, you're never going to be any wiser if you don't get out there and experience things and fail.
Yeah.
More wisdom comes from failure and embarrassment than it does from success and having things handed to you.
Boy, you're as dumb as the day you went to bed.
Ain't that the truth?
You know what? I'm gonna jam on something here because
Jam on it.
there's
Jam on
a
it.
few there's one song that came to light recently that I was checking out. I didn't know really what it was about, but Nirvana's song "Polly." Polly wants a cracker. And I wish I had I should pull up the lyrics. That song is about
Rape.
Yeah, well, no, the rape me is the one. No, yeah, it's about rape and
Polly wants
serial,
a cracker.
and serial, like a murder.
Kurt Cobain read an article.
Yeah, he read an article in the Washington Times.
Yeah, and then he wrote the song.
And yeah, dude, that's
about. And then some dipshit
murder
who misconstrued the song played it while he was raping another chick, and it came out, and then obviously.
Oh, is that how? Okay, because
Kurt
I know
Nirvana got pissed. They're like, no, this song is not pro-rape.
No, and it wasn't originally. I know the song was originally about a story of a guy that had kidnapped.
Yeah.
Obviously a young girl, and
I think I should untie her first.
Yeah, you think I should untie her?
Want some water to put out the blowtorch?
Yeah, that sort of stuff kind of trips me out sometimes when you look into it and you go, oh damn, man! First of all, I didn't know that was a true story, and then second of all, damn, those are some pretty hardcore lyrics.
Well,
man.
this next song is not on the topic, and we're going to get the Gordon song because I know he has one. But since you kind of,
I didn't mean to wiggle away.
No,
but
that's fine because this was
stuff.
another one that Gordon and I had planned to do in the past. And if you still have that list available, you can pull it up too. Bruce Springsteen's song "I'm on Fire."
Okay.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home?
Right. Okay.
I got a bad desire.
All
You ever heard that song slow enough to read the lyrics?
No.
I was running and I was listening to my bluegrass station like I do. And somebody did a bluegrass cover of it, and I heard a lyric that I had never heard before. And I'm trying to pull it up real quick so I can get it right. And it's not a very long song. There's actually very few lyrics to it. As you know, hey, little girl, is your daddy home?
Yeah.
Did he go away and leave you home alone? I got a bad desire. Ooh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is he good to you? And can he do the things that I can do? I can take you higher. Ooh, baby, I got a bad desire. Here's the line I never knew that makes this song even crazier. Ready? Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley into the middle of your skull, my skull.
Good
That's in a
God,
Bruce Springsteen
man.
song. And I've heard that song was all over MTV when I was a kid, and I never picked up on that line until I heard the bluegrass version where he emphasizes the part about the 6-inch valley through the middle of my skull, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, right.
That's a Bruce Springsteen song. I mean, it's creepy enough.
And to be fair, when we were kids,
yeah,
we heard. That
was it. So what songs do you have, Gordon? Let's start with your good songs gone bad due to a shitty lyric.
So I've been searching all weekend, and I haven't found anything, but I do have the one that has dark lyrics. And this one, because I always thought it was a very happy-go-lucky song when we were a kid. And people will probably know what I'm talking about as soon as I say it, because I believe it's really big down in Florida and the islands, and it's Copacabana.
Really?
And there's a line in there that we'll just go ahead. There's a few of them, but we'll skip the main happy stuff and move on down to where it makes a turn, and it's when Rico meets Lola. So his name was Rico. He wore a diamond. He was escorted to his chair. He saw Lola dancing. When she finished, he called her over, but Rico went a bit too far. Tony sailed across the bar. And then the punches flew and the chairs were smashed in two. There was blood and a single gunshot, but who shot who? And
all those lyrics are...
And always sound like a very happy...
Yeah, because it's at the Copacabana. It's all upbeat.
Yeah, exactly.
So that would be a great song.
The last chorus, or one of the last two choruses, is at the Copa, she lost her love. Her name was Lola, and she was a showgirl, but that was 30 years ago when they used to have a show. Now it's a disco, but not for Lola, still in her dress that she used to wear, faded feathers in her hair. She sits there so refined and drinks herself half blind.
So she got
Hi, doll. Now she's like 50, still living the old life, living her dreams.
You're going to run down showgirl in Vegas, right?
Yeah, huh?
Joshua Shanowski said Pizza Hut called Dave. They want the red cup back. He wasn't around when we were talking about the beginning of the show.
Oh yeah, dude. Sorry about that, bro.
Here's another fun one. Misunderstood lyrics. Gordon and his friends got me into a band called the Red Hot Chili Peppers back before Under the Bridge came out.
Yep. Mother's Milk and stuff. Huh?
Uplift Mojo Party Plan.
Oh yeah, okay.
Gordon, you remember the song "Me and My Friends"?
Me and my friends.
You remember what you thought they used to say until you were listening with me and I was singing along and you realized what they were saying?
Go ahead.
I believe you were shocked because for some reason you thought they were singing "Pee on my pee."
That's what I was just thinking. Pee on my friends.
Which I wouldn't put it past them back in the day.
No.
And that may be why I would have thought that, just because they were so freaking out there. And it's amazing how lyrics, everybody will hear slightly different. And what do they hear? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Sublime, what's the one song Sublime does about the one girl, I shouldn't be looking at you that way. Cigarette rests between her lips. I'm thinking the wrong thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Cigarette.
Oh, Wrong Way.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, song "Wrong Way." I mean, there's just a lot.
Well, that song he's talking about, he met a girl and rescued a girl whose father turned her out because after her father and her brothers molested her.
Yeah, your dad's an alcoholic,
And they turned her out and made her into a prostitute. And so he basically found her, and went and shot that. It's very reminiscent to Mickey Mallory on Natural Born Killers, almost.
True, huh?
Yeah.
True.
You were a big NBK fan, weren't you?
Yeah, I saw Natural Born Killers at the theater like 3 times.
That was a badass movie, dude.
Back when E-Train was young and impressionable.
Yeah, I didn't know Quentin Tarantino actually wrote the screenplay for that. I knew it was an Oliver Stone movie.
Yeah, it was an Oliver Stone movie. You had obviously Woody. You had Samuel L. Jackson in that film. I had
another thing, but Gordon sidetracked me. Now I forgot what I was going to bring up.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
No, that's
but
right.
Yeah, and then you had not Jennifer Tilly. What was her name? The real crazy, that one crazy girl.
Oh yeah.
She was like the it star of the '90s, man. She did a lot of stuff.
Before we wrap up,
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah,
Juliette Lewis. That's it. Yep, that was a damn good movie, man. Robert Downey Jr. when he was still in his freaking hardcore partying days. I mean, acting like
you know who probably his second best role next to his work in Save It Private Ryan is what the hell's his name? He went off the deep end late in life.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, man. I
can't remember his name.
Anybody out there, text or send us a direct
Give us a
message.
call. Give us a call 239-268-9317.
Yeah.
Real quick, here's a little fun one. We're all Sublime fans.
Yeah, man.
Bad Fish. What's that song about?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen, man.
Gordon, do you have any ideas?
Been so long now,
this is my theory, not anything that I got off of their website or heard anybody talk about. But this is my theory on it.
What's that?
Are you familiar with it, Gordon?
I'm going to think it's somebody who's just so horrible they should be thrown back.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Here's the lyrics. I'm going to skip the first line. When you grab a hold of me and tell me that I'll never be set free, but I'm in paradise, creep and crawl, I step into the night. 2 pints of booze. Tell me, are you a bad fish too? Are you a bad fish too? Ain't got no money to spend. I hope the night will never end. Lord knows I'm weak. Somebody get me off of this reef. Now, what did he die of?
Heroin.
Okay, next line. Baby, you're a big blue whale. Grab the reef when duck and diving fails. I'll swim, but I wish I had never learned because the water is too polluted with germs.
Yeah.
I dive deep when it's 10 feet overhead. Grab the reef from underneath my bed.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like this is when things get tough, that's when he goes back to the heroin.
Yeah, and he's talking about maybe hepatitis.
Ain't got no
or
quarrels
something.
with God. Ain't got no time to grow old. Lord knows I'm weak. Will somebody get me off of this reef?
Wow.
Submitting to his addiction.
Yeah, to me, like I heard that one day when I was in Long Beach. I'm like, this motherfucker's singing about his heroin addiction.
Oh yeah, man. It was known. It
was known, but I don't know if anybody's ever put the 2 and 2 together
right,
with that
put the
song.
two together. Do you remember when Sublime did that? I believe it would have been 90. Gosh, I want to say
95.
Yeah, maybe 90.
Because he died in 97-ish, so it had to be.
Well, this would have been 94, 93 at the KROQ Weenie Roast, man, when they made all those fake badge laminates, and they invited.
It's probably when Robin Hood was out.
Like 1,000. Yeah, well, Gwen Stefani was
yes,
there.
Yes, Tom Sizemore, Morgan Law,
That's
you
it.
win. Ding,
Boom,
ding, 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 ding.
Tom Sizemore, that guy.
OG5, yeah, he did a great job in that as Jack Scagnetti.
Mm-hmm.
He was younger and skinny.
Yeah, man. Yep, Jack Scagnetti, man. Holy smokes, Tom Sizemore, that guy, man. Fucking phenomenal
You're from
actor.
Texas? You don't sound like you're from Texas. I don't want to sound like those assholes. Hey, my parents are from Texas. Not those assholes, the other assholes.
Yeah, right. Dude.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, man. That was a hell of a good movie, man. Hell of a damn good movie.
I got one. Actually, I got a few topics, but we're running super long, but that's all right. I noticed something the other day. Now, we know that due to media and streaming and the fact now that TV stations are essentially broadcasting over the internet, they're not broadcasting per se. They use satellites.
Right.
How much cheaper do you think it is now to run a TV station than it was, 10 years ago? And here's the reason why I ask. I'm flipping through Comcast, and and we all know that True TV sucks. That's why they play Impractical Jokers all day and the Watchanabo Effect, which are both great shows, but those are the only good shows on that entire station. Yeah. And so that's why it's the only show they play. And then FFX would play Simpsons 24 hours a day, which was great. Ironically, 12 years ago, I said, man, if they had an old Simpsons channel all the time, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm flipping through more and more channels, and I'm seeing the same exact program running for 12 or 13 hours. And it's like, okay, clearly it's cheaper to run a station than it is to pay for programming. So it seems like they spend their budget on the license for one show and just run that shit all day long until they generate enough revenue from running commercials. But it's just like, are you generating enough revenue? I mean, it's weird to buy a station just to play one show 24 hours a day.
Right. Or you're getting, like, let's say, like, if you're like me and I've got DirecTV, but I also have not rabbit ears, a digital receiver where I think it's not Me TV. It's like, they run Cowboys, and they got Laugh Television where it's like Night Court and Roseanne, all day basically. They got to be getting those syndicated shows at a pretty good rate, but you're right, just beating them into the ground over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, Josh Janowski's posting songs. He's talking about Buddy Holly by Weezer and Loser by Beck, both having crazy lyrics to them.
I'll have to check that out.
Well, and I was thinking, nowadays, as I said, no one's buying towers and antennas.
No.
The satellites are provided by Comcast.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure to run a TV station now is to run a server.
Right. Yep.
Running the digital version, paying for bandwidth to send it to the station.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be a fraction of a cost to run a TV station now.
Oh, I would imagine.
Just load the programming in the machine and let it go.
Yeah, because you're not actually building a station, just like we're not building a radio station to do this. We've bought some microphones and have an internet connection.
Yeah, we got it. A few
and
little things.
And a TV station requires less because the shits are recorded elsewhere. They're just loading the TV show into the onto the server and
letting it roll, man, letting it rip. All they got to do is make sure that they're timed out, top of the hour, whatever the show is.
Well, not even that, because they probably...
And station ID,
Well, they just put the trip tones in there and the commercials play.
True. And the trip tone's it. Yeah, you're right.
And since the TV shows were already aired, they're already cut for commercial breaks. Mm-hmm. And they already probably have the trip tones built into them.
Yeah, everything's set. You're right. Just how much commercial time can you put in there?
Gordon, are you ready to do your news?
Yeah, let's move on to the news for sure.
And we can always circle back to other things after the news. I just want to make sure we get it in.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do I need to?
No. Actually, yeah. Before we get in the news, Gordon did something very cool today. It's go ahead and you explain it.
Well, I got to since we were talking about TVs and TV stations, I got to go watch how the sausage is made, so to speak. My wife scored some free tickets to Live with Kelly and Ryan. So we got to go be in the audience, the first show, which is funny that it's actually airing tomorrow morning, not today. So it's live.
It's recorded live, which is ironic. It's not like they're recorded dead.
Yeah.
That's why I always say digitized live, because it's kind of making fun of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But go ahead.
So we've gone to a few tapings before, a couple of game shows, and then Penn and Teller's Fool Us, which that was really cool. But one of the things, what's nice is I actually got to see a talk show, kind of a daily entertainment show, which, I don't follow these guys. My wife's really big into it. And I said, I'll join you. This would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we were actually 10 rows from the stage.
Oh, man.
And,
nice.
No, it was really cool. The worst part is, and people who've seen my Instagram and that probably saw me bitching about standing in line because my back does not like standing on concrete very long. It's horrible. But stood there, and and D Train's familiar. Probably, I say we're one step below the background actor. We're the audience members.
Yeah, you're seat
it's a big
filler.
Call. What's that?
You're one step below a background actor. You're a seat filler, but once again, without the background actor and or the seat filler, you don't have a show.
Exactly. So it was a big cattle call. We get in this huge conference room at the Paris. We fortunately got upgraded to priority seating.
Nice.
We're in the third row, but it definitely took a while. I was surrounded by a lot of older people who were half my height. And from New York, and actually these ladies were hilarious. But
and you know why you knew they're from New York? Because New York. I said, do you know why you knew they're from New York?
Because they sound like garbage disposals?
No, because New Yorkers like to tell everybody every 5 minutes that they're fucking from New York. Hey, I could be an asshole because I'm from New York.
No, I couldn't tell from your fucking accent.
Yeah,
and I've been here since, and the lady has been here since '81. Still at it, strong as the day she walked away.
Yeah.
But so we got to go in. We got to see how it's made. It was really cool. They had some good guests on there. They had a good magician on there. And, they definitely pumped up the whole Las Vegas aspect of it. I think it'll be the rest of this week that they'll be showing that. But it was nice to go and see how everything kind of came together. And one thing I'll have to say is that they definitely got their shit together on that show. It was very quick because I've been to some shows where commercial breaks seem to take forever. Using that takes forever for them to reset the stage. This one, bam, bam, bam. They were on it, and they got it done in just a little over an hour.
Now, did they have a comedian warming you guys up before they went live?
It was a news guy that's always on there. I think his name is Patterson out of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Tina follows him. He's a hilarious guy. And he was also the announcer. But it wasn't any real big warm-up. It was just Gelman coming out and saying, hey, this is when you cheer. This is when you really cheer, and this is when you
Gelman's
cheer.
still producing that show? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get Dave to show your videos on TV, but he's
there you go.
Well, that's Gordon in line there.
All right, hold on.
Gordon, we may have to try your video feed next week. We got people asking why we can't see, and maybe now that we got your stuff sorted out, don't worry about the video.
Yeah, it's
Dave.
interesting. The camera is on, but that may just be because my OSB is up. So
that's all right.
Yeah, but it was really cool. And we were out, and it was funny because we're down there. You know what? Let's go to White Castles because we're down here and we don't get White Castles that often.
Oh yeah.
And then we opted for Wahlburgers because we just didn't want to walk that far.
How is Wahlburgers? Did they open that one in Naples?
I have no clue, man.
They were supposed to be opening one in Naples. I don't know if they did or not.
If they did or not, man. I have no clue.
Funny that you said you went to White Castle. While you were talking, I took my sweatshirt off and I have my White Castle shirt on underneath. Yeah, you are a step below background actors because background actors are paid. You guys are paid with free entrance to watch a free show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
and, some people get up on stage and some people get prizes.
Well, bro, you do have that one opportunity out there that I almost took advantage of, where you can go and preview television shows, and they pay you anywhere from $50 to $100, man.
I don't think they pay that much. That's called.
No, they do, man. Stan actually got they actually made $100. I'm not joking.
I feel that's along the lines of going to get some prizes, and it ends up being for a timeshare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's kind of situation.
Yeah, it's like they preview primetime shows and things, and you kind of give it a rate and rate the show, but they do pay you, man, for doing that. Hell, a little extra cash in the old pocket there, buddy. I almost did it, man, but I didn't. Shoulda.
Yeah.
Damn it.
A couple extra dollars goes far.
Hell yeah, man.
And so, how was the overall experience? Was it a long day?
You know what? It was, besides my back hurting and waiting in line, just because I hate waiting in line, I said I'd do it again. I wouldn't do it. They were like, hey, you guys can go out and didn't stand by and see if you get back in. I'm like, nah.
Thank you.
This was enough.
Okay, well, let's get into the news. Here we go.
Joining us now from the Digital 410 West News Desk in Las Vegas, Nevada, Gordon Abernathy.
Gentlemen. So at the beginning of the show, we talked about some of the funky things that Dave has partaked in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird that this worked out this well, but it did. Dave?
Yeah, bub.
You like to drink.
What's that?
Right. You like to drink. You like to partake in some.
Yeah, man. I've been known to kick back a few, absolutely.
Are you a gin guy by chance?
No.
Can't afford it.
No.
No.
No, I'm more whiskey and tequila.
There's a company, it's called Enlovo Gin. They've kind of had a way to soften the blow and make it smooth. And it's a little bit of combination of gin and something that I don't think any of us would willingly want to partake in.
Why is that?
Because it is elephant dung.
Oh, bro. No. Didn't they do that a while back with some like other wild coyotes or something out of Africa? Or cats or something?
This is out of South Africa. And I'm going to put the call out that anybody who may come upon Dave in a bar, offer him this drink.
Oh, no, that's okay. Please, no.
It is, it's got an amazing variety of botanicals, according to the creators of this fine, high-level spirit. The makers of South African gin infuse the elephant dung and swear their use of the animal's excrement is no gimmick. Creators of Enlivu Gin, and I probably boogered that name up, Les and Paul Ansley, stumbled across the idea about a year ago after learning that elephants eat a variety of fruits and flowers and yet digest less than a third of it.
Superior galactic grandma after eating a block of cheese, smoking 3 packs of cigarettes, and drinking a quart of milk. Disgusting, that's the word.
That's the way I'd think it'd go, but as a consequence, in the elephant dung, you get the most amazing variety of these botanicals. And as we know, gin is very fragrant and have a lot of botanicals in it. So
not interested.
No, not interested.
Not interested in your Chernobyl beer either.
Nope, not interested in what?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
Think about it. This is a great move in efficiency.
Well, first of all, I want to know.
Why do we let the elephants do all the hard work?
What do they do?
Collecting the botanicals.
That's what I'm saying.
And then we'll make gin from it.
What do they do? Drive around in their safari vehicles looking for elephant dung, and then they're just loading it up?
Where do you think your mushrooms come from?
Huh? Well, I understand that.
People
That's
drive
different.
around picking through cow shit for mushrooms all the time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I mean...
This is a more lucrative,
That's a hell of a lot of dung, dude.
Yeah, but it's easier to find.
I guess,
Problem is, you probably got to...
Well,
go ahead.
The idea was apparently hatched after they went on a safari in which a wildlife ranger described the elephant's digestive process. So weeks later, just weeks after this alleged safari, they said the wife woke him up in the middle of the night that she had an inspiration. Let's give this a bash. Evidently, that is South African slang. Let's see how it works out. So the first batch came by mail from a park. This is the first batch of dung, by the way, where they had taken the safari. So they actually got the first pile of shit from the park they took to safari. Then the couple, both scientists, by the way, puzzled for a while before working out the gin making process. So now they collect the dung themselves using their bare hands. They describe the gin's flavor as a lovely wooded almost spicy and earthy. I'm sure it is earthy.
Yeah.
And one of the changes subtly with and it's one that does change subtly with the seasons and location, because that's kind of where the flora is, where they eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
The flora and the fauna.
So they
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah, that's not for me, man.
Elephant shit gin.
I was going through the podcast studio closet today, and I found the photo Stan got me for Christmas 2 years ago. We were talking back in the day about people we always wanted to have autographs from or whatever, and I was talking about how when Who's the Boss was on, and I was a young lad. I was much like everybody else my age, in love with Alyssa Milano.
Hell yeah.
Alyssa Milano, too bad she's a complete kook now. She has a podcast, dude. She's insane.
Ass.
But anyhow, I remember I went to the book fair at school and got one of those books that had like everybody's contact information to get autographs. And sent away, never got one. So Stan found out about that, and he got me an autographed photo of Alyssa Milano.
That's sweet.
Which is funny because she's like in the world's most scantily clad outfit.
Yeah.
But if you go and listen to her podcast and the things she talks about, it makes you sound like a hypocrite.
Yeah, I'm sure they get that.
And then of course I got the Eddie Munster.
Oh yeah, man.
From when he came into the studio.
When he came in the studio.
Yep.
It's funny all the stuff we got, man. We find over the years.
What's up next on your
what you
list
got,
of
man?
news, Gordon?
Next on my list is something that may be up D Train's alley. It is the Rock and Roll Marathon in Las Vegas. So one of the problems with today leaving the Paris about noon is they had started shutting down the Strip. And it was for the 11th annual race, or the 11th annual running in 2019. The Rock and Roll Las Vegas Marathon and Half Marathon takes runners on a fast and mostly flat out and back run through the streets of Glitter Gulch.
Yeah, I see him right here.
Which most of the race is unfolding along the famed Las Vegas Strip. It also features a half marathon, which is a 6.5-mile race that starts on Las Vegas Boulevard near the Mandarin Oriental and Hard Rock Cafe.
Half
and
marathon's longer
finishes
than
at the
6
Best
miles.
Western Plus in downtown Las Vegas. Runners are both full and half marathoners will share the same starting line, which they did, and they stuck together for at least the first 10 miles of the race.
Who wrote that story and said a half marathon 6 miles? That's a 10K.
Six and a half.
That's a 10K.
From their website, actually.
There you go, right there, D-Train. Look at all those people, man.
A half marathon's 13 miles because a full marathon's 24. I was actually in the process of training for a half marathon. No, a 10K is 6.2 miles.
Huh.
Which I just did one a few weeks ago.
So they've had up to more than 20,000 runners and wheelchair competitors cross the finish line in both races combined each year. So that is both the half and the full, but that's still a lot of people running.
Dude, not only is that a lot of people running, I think a marathon, I know a half marathon, I think is usually between $45 and $50.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a full marathon maybe 50 to 65. So just times that by all the people running.
Good God. Cha-ching.
It is definitely a money maker.
Cha-ching. And it looks like they obviously got to do this at night.
I mean, it's such a money maker. There's companies like elite events who like put on, I don't know, maybe 8 to 15, 5Ks and 10Ks here in Southwest Florida, but they're all over the nation. And it's just, I mean, the $35 a piece for a 5K, times that by, a couple hundred people. Wow. I mean, just look.
Yeah, well, I'm looking
that
at
one elite event. My bib number was 1,063. There's another one. My bib number is 1,299. There's one 2,398, and that's a $35.
Could you imagine
pop.
being number 19,000?
Yeah, no doubt.
The closest I got to 410 was I got 460. I was 1,678 at the Savage race.
Damn. Cha-ching, ching, 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 ching,
that's
ching, 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 ching.
$35 a piece. So you can do that math real quick. And they had 5,000 people sign up for that shit.
Jesus.
So what else you got on your list?
We're going to shift from Southwest United States to Southwest Florida.
All right.
You may know this guy. He sounds like he is a piece of shit.
What kind of piece of shit, you ask?
Not like a real piece of shit. Like if a piece of shit ate a piece of shit and took a pee and shit, you're that piece of shit.
Wade Wilson. Does that name ring a bell?
I would have to see his photo. Let me Google him.
Wait, we don't have it here in the archives.
No,
huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Gordon.
So Wade Wilson is in jail for double murder, pretty much.
What?
For those of you playing along at home, Wade Wilson may sound familiar to you because that's Deadpool's name.
Oh, okay.
I'm Googling Wade Wilson and Ryan Reynolds comes up.
Yeah,
here you go, Wade Wilson.
So,
okay.
He basically met this chick. Her name is Kristen Melton at the Buddha Bar in Fort Myers.
Oh, When? I've seen
October
that
the
dude.
6th.
Go on ahead.
He claims that they left there together, accompanied by a man and another woman, and attended a house party in Fort Myers. This is where Wilson claims that he and Melton became very intimate. He said that after his car broke down, Melton called an Uber, and the pair returned to her home in Tudor Drive in Cape Coral.
Mm-hmm.
This is where he says, hey, we got intimate again at her home.
Mm-mm.
But she was alive when I left on the morning of October the 7th. According to Wilson, Kristen was alive, obviously, after he left the house. That's why I double read this, damn it. Yes. Wilson responded to this interview that I asked Kristen if I could borrow her phone and her car. Well, and he said, one, because I don't have a phone at all. Wilson claims that he returned to Fort Myers and got into a fight with his ex-girlfriend and then went back to Cape Coral. He claims that he was lost at Cape Coral. I can imagine that. I'm a stranger to the area. And while still driving Kristen Milton's black Nissan Versa, he was stopped and asked Diane Ruiz for directions. Wilson said he saw Ruiz on the side of the road.
This is the guy that killed those two chicks when I was in Orlando doing the TV show shoot.
Wow. I've seen that guy before.
Go ahead,
so,
Gordon.
according to this piece of shit, alleged at this point, she actually wanted me to help her give her a ride back to work, and I gave her a ride. He explained we drove together for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and then she dropped me off at a bus stop. He is also denying to have anything to do with Ruiz's death.
Dude, this guy.
Don't you?
Fuck, man.
Yeah, it's. So there was another person they were interviewing. You find it at all strange that these two women you had interactions within, just talking to him, in less than 24 hours, both ended up dying in very bad ways.
Yeah.
I agree that death, in his responses, I agree that their deaths were tragic and sad, but do I find it strange? No, I do not. So
that's what he said.
I think this guy's got serious psychological issues.
Yeah, because
probably,
from the NBC2
sociopathic.
website, Wade Wilson is currently in jail on burglary charges, accused of breaking into a home, drinking White Claw, and stealing clothes.
Oh my God, man!
There ain't no law when you're drinking the Claw.
Yeah, this guy, what a piece of shit. I've seen that. Speaking of which,
not like a real piece of shit. Like if a piece of shit ate a piece of shit and took a pee and shit, you're that piece of shit.
Damn, like I think I've seen him at the Buddha before, man.
Probably.
So one of my favorite movies that really formed my opinions on what aircraft I liked that were military was
Iron Eagle.
Yeah.
Chappie.
The old
Iron Eagle's
F-16,
great.
man.
F-16, fantastic fighter. Well, out here at Aviation Nation, where I would have rather have been, we got the first look at the new Wraith Aggressor F-16. So it is basically painted up former Soviet era style. It is now the bad guy.
So it looks like a MiG?
The simulated MiG, so to speak. Wraith was crowdsourced color scheme aggressor. So they basically crowdsourced, how would you like this aggressor to be? We said, hey, like the commies.
Yeah.
And kind of hurts a little because that was a pretty pro-American aircraft in my opinion.
Yeah.
And this thing thrilled the crowds at Nellis over the weekend. Aviation Nation enthusiasts from around the world got their first chance to see the new Wraith color scheme on the Aggressor F-16 of the 64th Aggressor Squadron. So they go out over the test area during red flag and green flag. There's a huge world. We got all of our oh dear God!
Spit it out, son.
We just got from like Britain and everybody. All
Yeah,
of our guys are coming over.
Yeah, all the United Nations come and practice.
And they practice together exactly. So the unique F-16 Fighting Falcon, usually referred to as Viper by the air crews, was painted in a distinctive flat black livery intended to simulate the potential adversary aircraft in case unspecified Russian. So we're going back to Russia. It is imperative. It is impressive and innovative use of social media by the United States Air Force 57th Wing Commanding Officer Brigadier General Robert Notveny. The color scheme for the Wraith was selected with the crowdsourced media voting process on Facebook by aviation enthusiasts around the world. Wonder how many of those were those Russian bots. But when we spoke to the Russian pilots earlier this year at the MAX 2009 show outside of Moscow about the aggressor aircraft, and this is where you get your typical stuff, right? He said, we like them. It's a compliment. They look good, but they're just not as good as ours. and we don't have anything painted like Americans.
Right.
So a little kind of stab back, but it's pretty cool. I would have really enjoyed going to the air show this weekend. I've missed it every freaking time.
Really?
And I don't know if many people know this is actually where the Thunderbirds is based out of.
Yeah.
So
we have the Blue Angels.
It would have been fantastic.
I love air shows, man. I'm just saying, I love air shows. I think they're absolutely fantastic. And what's interesting about that is, MiGs are tough to come by, man. Ain't no doubt.
Gordon, your microphone's starting to break up. We're starting to lose you, and we've been going a while, so we're going to wrap up the news.
All right.
And we're going to wrap up another episode of the Waterman and D-Train Show. But before we go, I would be remiss in just saying thanks to our friends at Computers for sponsoring the Waterman and D-Train Show.
Mm-hmm.
Computers has been providing IT solutions for all of Southwest Florida since 2004. They do network expansions, wireless footprint, server management, online authentication, online backups, antivirus. Anything you need done, they can help you out. And even if you don't live in Southwest Florida, give them a call at 239-283-1120, and they can remote into your computer remotely, hence the name remote. They can log in your computer remotely and fix all your problems, obviously, as long as your internet works. I've had people call me and say, hey, my internet's down. Can you log in my computer and tell me why? The answer is no, I cannot, because your internet is down. So give them a call at 239-283-1120. And welcome to the show, all you people who tuned in last week. I don't know what's going on, but our numbers went through the roof, and we thank you so much. No complaints there. As you guys may or may not know, all of our shows can be found at locations of fine podcasts, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Music, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and, of course, D-410.com. And once again, we alluded to it earlier when we were talking about Dave's new microphone and my new microphone. Go to D-410.com. Click on that Amazon link. And when you do, and you do all your shopping, they will not charge you a but after a while, all those add up, and they put them in our bank account. We can buy new microphones, buy new equipment, and bring you better content, not to mention the content on the YouTube channel. And that's the next one. Please go to youtube.com, look for Digital 410, and like and subscribe. And I think that's going to cover it. Obviously, at D-410.com, you can also get all of your T-shirts and swag and help the show. And last but not least, thanks to the OG 500 and the Patreon members. If you guys haven't signed up for Patreon yet, please do so. Now the song's over. Dave doesn't have an outro, so we'll just start it all over again.
That's all good, brother.
But yeah, go to Patreon. The lowest tier is $1 a month. You have a $3.50 a month and a $7.50 a month tier. Please go to Patreon, sign up for one of those, and support the show. Gordon.
I can be reached at Aegis1974 on Instagram and Gordon at D410 on Facebook.
And you were on Twitter. You have two accounts. You need to figure out which one you need to delete. Dave?
Well, I'm really not on social media except Instagram. And if you want to hit me up there, man, I'm at Dave_the_Waterman. Other than that, feel free to give us a call all week long. Give us some show ideas. You got something you want to say?
Leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, you want to sound off? Give us a call, 239-268-9517.
Or you can shoot us an email at info@d-410.com. Info at D- or dash, if you will. That's the little dash next to the zero on your keyboard. D-410.com. And we'll read your emails. And life is short. Life is hard. Find something positive to do in your life. Find a way to motivate others around you. Do everything you need to do to accomplish your goals, because one day you may wake up dead.